What's up, everybody? Happy Wrestlemania weekend. I'm gonna give you guys my predictions. This is my first YouTube video. I'm excited to join the wrestling community here on YouTube. So if you guys would please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to, if you like this content. I look forward to discussing with you guys, getting to know you guys, and yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start with night one. We'll start with let's go with the WWE Tag Team Championships here, the War Raiders versus the New Day. Um, I'm gonna start off by saying I think that the SmackDown division kind of deserves this spot a little bit more. I think they've had a story build that's been going on for about a month now, and I feel bad that the Street Profits are just coming back, finally getting this reign after 3 years of not holding the belts. They kind of got knocked off this match card. The Pretty Deadly's been great. Obviously, Champa and Gargano have been great. Eh, I think SmackDown, like I said, deserves a little bit more. But hey, we get what we get. Hopefully, we have a great match here. But ultimately, I think the New Day winning these titles is a lot more for the division than the Viking Raiders retaining these titles. Um, don't get me wrong, the Viking Raiders are great. I'm so happy that they were able to bounce back from their injuries and get these titles and still look fantastic in the ring. The New Day heel turn has not been exactly what we all expected. I think we expected more of a aggressive, different New Day, and that's not what we got. We got kind of more of this grimy, obviously heelish tag team from the New Day, which I don't love, but I think them getting a victory here kind of gives them the opportunity to explore themselves a little bit more as a heel team, get them on TV a lot more so we can kind of see their character build a lot more. Um, so yeah, ultimately I have the New Day because, like I said, I think it just makes more sense for them to get these titles than it would for the Viking Raiders to retain. Next up, we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Um, Listen, this build has been actually, I love it. Chad Gable, well, sorry, it's not Chad Gable, it's El Grande Americano. It's Chad Gable. Um, it's hilarious. I think that just for the sake of getting a face of victory, a face legend of victory, I think they're gonna go with Rey Mysterio to win the title. Win the match here. And I think they're gonna do something where he either gets the mask off of El Grande or El Grande kind of still escape with that mask, so they can kind of build this story a little bit more going forward. Um, I don't know. This was kind of a toss up, not a lot of effects, I guess, afterwards for the match. Like, it doesn't really matter who wins this match, but I think they're gonna go over Rey Mysterio. That's just my gut feeling. Next up, Jade Cargo versus Naomi. Guys, I love this heel Naomi. Like, you don't understand this. Her character work, her promos have been fantastic. I was not expecting to get this kind of character from Naomi, but oh my god, has she delivered. But with that said, Jade Cargo is still Jade Cargo. I think Jade Cargo is going to go on quite the run in the next year, the next few WrestleManias. I think WWE wants her to be their next big female superstar, even bigger than a Bianca. She has the looks for it. Her build is fantastic. Her presentation is fantastic. Obviously, she has a little bit more to go when it comes to the in-ring skill, but she's going to get there, guys. Trust me, she will get there. So that's why I'm going to go with Jade Cargo. It kind of, like I said, I love Naomi. It hurts my heart to pick against her because I think this heel run has been great, but I think they're going to use her losing to kind of build this character a little bit more. Who knows? She might go after Bianca Belair next. She might just change her target, and we'll see. But I think it's going to be. We have great things coming for Naomi, but ultimately, Jade Cargill gets the win here. Next up, we have LA Knight, versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Another person I love, Jacob Fatu. This dude is absolutely fantastic. In the ring, promo work, great. Obviously, LA Knight, his promo work is fantastic. Also, huge star. The fans love him. But I think LA Knight might have reached his point where there's not a lot more to add as a U.S. champion. He had it for a while before. Obviously, lost to the Shinsuke, who did, unfortunately, very, very, very little with that title. And then LA Knight got it back because I think WWE kind of realized that we need kind of a boost here. Um, but I think LA Knight, his reign has kind of run that course. I think they're going to give the title to Jacob Fatu just so he could kind of explore his story with Solo Sikoa, the new bloodline, see where Tama Tonga stands. Once Tonga Loa comes back, kind of see what he does, which I think he's just going to follow Tama Tonga. But yeah, I think Jacob Fatu takes the victory here. I think it'd be cool to see the belt on Jacob Fatu, see what kind of rivalries he could build going forward. Because people want to see him, people love him. He's a monster heel that we haven't seen since Braun Strowman's like kind of prime days, I guess you could say, as amongst Strowman men. We kind of saw where Bronson Reed a little bit, but unfortunately he got derailed. So yeah, I think Jacob Fatu takes this win and kind of builds him up a little bit more to take that next step to being a main eventer. Yeah, Jacob Fatu. Next up, we have the match which I think might open the night. Either either this match or the Women's Championship match will open. We got Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. I know the thoughts on Jey Uso. I know the IWC is not exactly loving him right now. I know his promo work has not been there. I know his in-ring work has also not been there. I know it's kind of very limited in the ring. But you guys gotta understand, I think he's ready for this. He's been around for 2 decades now with his brother. I think we see this through for Jey Uso getting the victory. Obviously, he run the Royal Rumble. He's been one of the most over people for the past year and change. Whenever he kind of left the bloodline, he's been super over. I think there's a disconnect between the IWC and the actual crowds at these shows who actually do love Jey Uso. I think no matter what, he's going to get a great reception. I think it's going to be a huge pop when he wins this title. Don't get me wrong, I love Gunther. He's actually one of my favorite wrestlers right now. Fantastic in the ring. Obviously, he's grew exponentially on the microphone. But I think just to get the quick babyface pop at the beginning of the night, I think that Jey Uso gets his victory. Kind of confirms why he won the Royal Rumble, why they chose him to make that shocking choice. I don't think they waste that, so I'm gonna go with Jey Uso here. Next up, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. Listen, I know that promo they had 2 weeks ago now on SmackDown has created a lot of buzz. A lot of people thought it was a mess. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Listen, I thought it was hilarious. I loved it. I love to see Tiffany Stratton actually stand up for herself, kind of fighting through Charlotte Flair, trying to derail her. I think when it comes to this match, I think Tiffany Stratton gets the win here. I don't think Charlotte Flair needs another WrestleMania championship win. Listen, she's Charlotte Flair. She could get a title shot literally whenever she wants. I personally don't think that she needed the Royal Rumble win at all. I think there are some other people who could have probably benefited from this more than her. Like, for example, you want an Io Sky in this story. I think Io Sky could have run the Royal Rumble. Liv Morgan deserved it after a great year she had. I kind of got deflated when Charlotte Flair won it, but I also was not surprised whatsoever. Charlotte Flair is going to have a lot more title reign. She's going to probably have the most all-time men or women. So I think right now it benefits Tiffany Stratton a lot more to get this victory because she is still relatively new to the main roster. She has a lot more growth that she needs to explore. And getting a victory over a legend like Charlotte Flair could do wonders for her, especially on the stage of WrestleMania. So I'm going to go for Tiffany Stratton to get the victory here, retaining the Women's World Championship. Next up, the main event of night 1, we have Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Seth Rollins. I have absolutely no idea what they want to do with this story. The fact that Seth Rollins almost seems like the third wheel in a situation, he's not really involved with Paul Heyman. I know he kind of had that weird promo saying, like, now you owe me a favor, which that's not how favors work, Seth Rollins. But the fact that he's a third wheel almost makes me feel like he's going to win this match. I feel like at some point Paul Heyman is going to get involved where either he's looking to save Reigns or CM Punk or both of them at different points of the match, and then Seth Rollins, as he does, is going to take advantage and get the victory. I don't know exactly where the story goes after WrestleMania. Um, Obviously, maybe Rollins will go for the championship while Punk and Reigns can continue their feud because we haven't seen that yet. Really, it's like a feud of just themselves. We saw CM Punk join the War Games match, but that's kind of the only interaction we had with them since CM Punk came back. So maybe that's the move after this. Um, yeah, I don't really know. I'm actually really interested to hear your thoughts on this match because I like the build, but I don't really understand the build that much. Like I said, I think just Paul Heyman being involved and Seth Rollins seeming like the third wheel kind of confirms that Seth Rollins is going to win this match. But yeah, it's kind of all I have to say about that. Let me guys know. Let me know what you guys think about it. But we'll move on to night 2. We will start with Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. I think that a lot of people are kind of confused of why Drew McIntyre got paired with Damian Priest for this match. I think a lot of people think that Drew McIntyre deserved a more, I guess, a higher tier match, a more quality opponent, which I don't really agree with that opinion. I think Damian Priest is a great opponent. I think when it comes to accolades, these two have been on par pretty much the entire past year. I know Drew McIntyre's feuds have been a lot better than Damian Priest's feud with the Judgment Day. We don't want to talk. I want to forget about that. That thing lasted forever. But I think right now, when it comes to like as far as tiers, they might be on the same level. And Damian Priest is great. I think he got held back by the Judgment Day storyline. We all want to see what he could do to further his character development, but we didn't really get that yet. So I think this is the opportunity that they're kind of waiting for to see what Damian Priest could do. As far as who was going to win, I think Drew McIntyre kind of benefits from a lot of his losses. So I think when it comes to character development, I think it makes more sense for Damian Priest to win this match, so he can kind of move himself to the next level while Drew McIntyre continues on his downward spiral, which I think makes him a lot more interesting. Where he's like this conspiracy theorist where everything's against him, while he's also more times than not right about a lot of things that he says. You know what I mean? So I think just picking off of characters, I think Damian Priest gets this one. Next up, we have Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez. Oh, excuse me. Nope, that's not right. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. So I don't really like that Lyra's getting put into this match as opposed to defending her IC title, because she's been a fantastic champion. She is fantastic in the ring. I think she's one of the best wrestlers in the company. And it's kind of weird that they put her on a makeshift tag team with Bayley to get on this card. I understand getting Liv Morgan on the card because Liv Morgan has been probably the MVP of the women's division for the past year. The story with her, Dom, Rhea was fantastic. Liv Morgan has grown so much over the past few years, and she definitely deserves this WrestleMania slot. It's just a weird matchup, I guess you could say, which is my only kind of thing if I'm going to pick at it. So ultimately, I'm going to go with Liv and Raquel to retain here. They're the real tag team, you know what I mean? I feel like they have a lot more to offer when it comes to the women's tag team division because they're a real team. They can feud with a lot more teams. I know the belt has been kind of crappy ever since Bianca and Jade dropped the titles, but I'll always have faith in it. I think they could find something interesting, especially with Liv Morgan. So I'll go with those who would retain. Next up, we have the Fatal 4-Way Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. I love all these guys. Dominic Mysterio has grown on me so much in the past few years. I think he is definitely the most improved WWE superstar over the past few years. Finn Balor, always loved him. Obviously, I hate the way that they're handling him. He's now Pin Balor, unfortunately, as people like to say. Penta, I'm a big AEW guy, so I saw what Penta could do there. I'm a huge fan of him. Him and Ray Fenix. And Braun Breaker, this kid is the future. Every time he's in the ring, you expect him to just break somebody in half, which I love, especially from a younger star who can definitely benefit a lot from having a championship like the Intercontinental title, which is known to be kind of that stepping stone to getting to the next level. Um, so ultimately, as much as it breaks my heart to not pick Dominic Mysterio, I'm not going to pick Dominic Mysterio. I'm going to go with Braun Breaker to retain here. Like I said, I feel like it kind of helps his character a lot. He could feud with a lot more people for this title, a lot of older guys to kind of mentor him through these matches, which he doesn't really need to help him through the matches, but as far as character development, I think it just helps him a lot more. You know what I mean? Um, Also, how do you look at this guy and just not think that he should be a champion? You know, this guy, that IC title looks great on him. He puts on great matches. He can feud with anybody. I think, yeah, Ron Breaker. I think it just makes sense for him to hold on to it for a little bit longer, get some more feuds out of him, and definitely get him to that next level where he could finally challenge for a world title. And next up, we have Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World title. So Io Sky is currently my favorite wrestler in WWE, men or women. I think she's one of the best wrestlers in the world, again, men or women. That's why it kind of breaks my heart to think that she's there to eat this pin. I think WWE wants Bianca Belair to be back on that level of top babyface for the women's division. Even though the crowd is booing her right now for some reason. She is not the heel in this feud. I don't understand why they're booing her. The international crowds, whatever. But once it got back to the US and they were still booing her, I was like, that makes absolutely no sense. She's right there. Rhea kind of whined her way into the match. So Rhea Ripley's really the heel in this situation. I know you guys love her, but storyline wise, whatever. But I think Bianca would probably gain the most out of winning this championship at WrestleMania. Like I said, Io Sky, she seems like the third wheel. I know I'm kind of contradicting my logic with the night one main event with Rollins, Punk, and Reigns. Saying that Seth Rollins is third wheel makes me feel like he's gonna win, but I think it's different in this situation. I think they kind of use Io to get Rhea in this match, even though they really didn't need to. It could have still just been a one-on-one match, and I'm not complaining because, like I said, Io's my favorite wrestler. But I just don't see her walking out with the title here unless they kind of want to follow that same format as the night one main event, which I don't think they'll do the same thing twice as far as the third wheel winning. So yeah, ultimately I have Bianca Belair walking away with the title here, being that face that WWE wants, and then who knows, maybe we'll get Naomi and Jade Cargill gunning after her, kind of adds to their story a little bit. Or next up, we'll see what they do. All right, main event for night 2 of WrestleMania: Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for undisputed WWE title. So I'm gonna start off with a hot take, and I'm gonna say that I'm not the biggest Cody Rhodes guy. His promos are way too long-winded for me. He's kind of repetitive in my mind, and I feel like his title reign has been kind of mid. He's never had a feud since he won the title where he feel like he's actually at risk to lose it. Obviously the AJ Styles match at Backlash was fantastic. But like this Kevin Owens feud was also great, but I feel like you never felt like he was gonna lose that, you know what I mean? Which I don't really like in world champions. I like to feel like they're always at risk to lose. I always want to feel like the challenger has a chance to win. And Cody Rhodes doesn't really allow you to have that feeling. I kind of felt the same way with like obviously Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. It was kind of like you need some kind of hope in a challenger, you know? And I feel like obviously with Cody Rhodes, he's gonna win the championship a lot more. But we're gonna move on to John Cena here. We haven't seen a heel John Cena in 2 decades now, since Dr. Thuganomics. And even then, he was kind of a tweener that the fans loved to boo because he was just hilarious. But now we have a different John Cena where I feel like he still hasn't dug his feet into the sand and like gave us what he wants his character to be. He kind of gave us these promos, but he didn't really go to that next level yet. You know what I mean? Which I feel like the fans will love to see exactly what he's going to give us. Him running around with The Rock is going to be insane, and Travis Scott is going to be insane. I think this is where WWE, I don't want to say pulls the trigger because he already won the title 15 times, but I think this is where they pull the trigger on that heel John Cena championship win, just to explore this story a lot further. And I'll say this also about Cody Rhodes. I found him a lot more interesting during the chase than he was as a champion. Cody Rhodes' feud with the Bloodline was way more interesting because we wanted Reigns to lose that title so bad, and we knew it was going to be Cody Rhodes. That it made him a lot more likable because he was hungry. You know, that chase adds a lot to a story. Um, and I think, like I said, John Cena winning the belt here gives Cody Rhodes the opportunity to once again go on that chase. I wouldn't be surprised if John Cena has a belt until maybe SummerSlam or something like that, and then Cody Rhodes wins it back in another big match. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna go with John Cena to win number 16 world champion, and then we get that heel run that we never thought we were ever gonna see. So, yep, guys, those are my predictions for WrestleMania. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, it's my first YouTube video, so if you guys want to comment, like, subscribe, I really appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you guys, getting involved in the wrestling community. Give me some feedback. Also, let me know what I could do differently. Let me know if my mic is working properly. But yeah, thank you guys. I look forward to talking about WrestleMania after it happens and getting a lot more video ideas out there. Thank you. Have a good one.